What is good, y'all? Welcome to episode 10 of the Yo and Nerd podcast. I am Malcolm McFadden, your host and creator of 615 Comics. And again, I have another great episode lined up for y'all. A bunch of good topics today that we need to get into that I want to talk about, bro. So, I ain't gonna waste no time. Let's just get into it. So, of course, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Please like and then like the video, comment on the video. Let's argue about some stuff, and then subscribe to the channel so we can continue arguing about stuff. All right. So, like I said, I got a lot, so we're gonna get right into this. Start this off with the Eye of Wakanda review. All right, Eyes of Wakanda. Now, if you didn't know, you probably didn't, because Disney and Marvel did a horrible job promoting this series. Actually did dog shit promoting this series. Eyes of Wakanda is this anthology series, animated, and it's about these different people of Wakanda, different war dogs of Wakanda, who have been sent out to retrieve vibranium artifacts that have been stolen from Wakanda throughout the years. And this show takes place throughout history, and also makes it the first show in chronological order of the MCU. All right, because they go way back. They go back to what? I think BC, you feel me? So this, or AD, whatever. The joint goes way back in the times where it was BC and AD. All right, so a minute ago. So this show was actually pretty dope. I'm gonna get into before I even get into the show, let's actually talk about Disney Plus and Marvel. This show was actually not supposed to come out yet. It was supposed to come out, I think, like a month or 2 weeks, and 2 weeks from now. But they pushed up the release date and then totally didn't even promote it for real. Like, this is the second time they did the same thing with Ironheart, with barely promoting that, and also promoting Wakanda. And there's only one common denominator, is that they're black characters, black projects. So I don't get what is the point. And both of these series have skyrocketed. Like, people have still gone out to watch them, even though Disney has not done any job of promoting them. Creators and influencers have done way better job promoting it than Disney Plus and Marvel, which I think is crazy. And they really need to, somebody really needs to have a deep dive into how they're treating their black characters in this universe. But we'll talk about that. That's a different subject for another day. But let's go on to Eyes of Wakanda. Only 4 episodes, real short, real easy to watch, but it was actually really good. It was actually fire, showing out character history, going into the Trojan War, getting Achilles into it. I think that was dope. Just to showing the different artifacts and them retrieving these artifacts and bringing them back to Wakanda was fire to me, right? I only really had a problem with the last episode. Now, you probably know what I'm talking about. This is spoilers, so if you haven't watched the show, please go watch it and watch this video. But spoilers are, they basically make everything tie into the first Black Panther. All right, in the last episode, a future Black Panther comes and says, hey, there's this horde of aliens that is destroying the world, and that Wakanda was the last effort to stop them, but Wakanda is basically dying. All right, they're destroying Wakanda. And the reason why this alien horde was able to do that is because Wakanda never integrated with mankind. They just stayed in the shadows. So in the past, they have found the axe that Killmonger at the start of Black Panther was looking for. You feel me? They had vibranium in it when he was in the museum. So basically, the future Black Panther says, hey, if y'all take this axe back to Wakanda, Killmonger is never out to look for it, which helps him get into Wakanda, which then the whole events of Black Panther, the first Black Panther movie, sets out T'Challa to do T'Challa opens Wakanda up to the world. You feel me? Opens up the Wakanda and starts helping people out in different parts of the world. So they saying if Wakanda never did that, this alien herd would be able to invade the whole planet, because Wakanda isn't there to help everybody in the forefront. You feel me? And the only reason I didn't like that is because they kind of make Killmonger like the linchpin. They made him like the centerpiece of this universe. Like, he is the reason why the future continues, and they make him the centerpiece while killing off T'Challa in the second movie, who is the main character of Black Panther franchise. The main character. Forget all that Mandela shit y'all be talking about. T'Challa is the Black Panther. All right, so I think that's really weird, just them really making Killmonger kind of like this linchpin, and kind of like they're making it seem like he's more important to Wakanda than T'Challa is, which is very weird since he's just a villain. But that's my only grits with the show. I probably wouldn't have many grits with it if they didn't kill off T'Challa, but the show is actually pretty good, and we need a Black Panther animated series. We need a Black Panther animated series off jump. Like, you can go, like, I want to see Black Panther in Wakanda. Maybe him coming up and growing up and becoming the Black Panther, like, and then going through the lore of Wakanda and different factions inside of Wakanda. Like, there's so much we could do. Is that when there was at one point where they were saying like Wakanda Forever was going to be like that. Like, that was going to be like a TV show or something like that, where they kind of showed the different aspects of Wakanda, but we never got that. And I think an animated show would be perfect for that, showing upbringings of T'Challa, showing him, and maybe some adventures before he even came with the Avengers in Civil War, like things of him being the Black Panther before that. You feel me? So definitely go check out Eyes of Wakanda. That joint is great. I love the animation in the series. I love the stories in the series. Them introducing, them going up with Killmonger and introducing the first Iron Fist. Well, not the first Iron Fist, the female Iron Fist. That was dope, and that actually made me want like an Iron Fist animated series, like about Iron Fist throughout time. Like, this show was actually really great, and this I think probably the top tier thing they released recently. I liked Ironheart and I liked Fantastic Four, but I think Eyes of Wakanda kind of beats all of that, and also the Captain America movie. I think that, not Ironheart, I think Wakanda beats all of that. Eyes of Wakanda beats all of those, and it was a great series. I think definitely give it a chance definitely give it a chance, especially if you're into the whole MCU universe. It's very dope, and I want to see if they're going to do more animated stuff within Wakanda. That'll be dope. Okay, let's get a little messy and have a little fun. So let's go back. Okay, let's get a little messy and have some fun here. Let's talk Superman box office numbers, all right? And let me get my phone just so I know exactly where we at right now. But we're talking Superman box office numbers. Now, I am not a normal box office person. I don't think that box office should equate to how good of a movie is. For example, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel made $1 billion, and that movie was trash. That movie simply made $1 billion because it was the last step before like Endgame and stuff like that. It was the last step. So that movie did $1 billion because of the hype of MCU, and it was the last step before Endgame, where Captain Marvel was not a good movie. It was basically the Green Lantern movie with Captain Marvel. I may make a video on why I think that, but whatever. But that was basically it. But yeah, I'm not normally a box office guy, but I want to talk about the box office numbers for Superman, and I'll get into why I want to talk about this. So, right now, as it stands, Superman has made over $500 million at the box office right now. So let's talk about it. So the reason why we're talking about Superman box office is because of DCEU getting canceled and cut because they wanted more, they said at the time, more profitable movies. They wanted to be on level with Marvel, and then they wanted more critically acclaimed movies and all this stuff like that. So basically they cut the old DCEU, saying it wasn't going to be profitable and all that stuff, even though they started really seeing a decline when they started making Marvelized movies of DC. But the one big thing is we talk about the whole Snyder fans versus Gunn fans, Snyder fans versus DC fans war. And when all of this was happening, a lot of DC fans on the James Gunn side was like, yeah, Superman's going to make $1 billion. Superman's going to blow Man of Steel out the water. Warner Brothers was trying to do better than what they did with the DCEU, you feel me? Trying to start off better, then make this whole new universe and stuff like that. And basically, people were saying that, the old DCU wasn't profitable, that this new DCU was going to blow it out the water. And like, people were saying this new Superman was going to make billions, was going to make $1 billion. People were saying that easily. And now we're seeing that it may not even beat Man of Steel. And I'm not into that whole adjusting for inflation stupid shit. I just go band for band. That's what I go for. So, and it may not even beat Man of Steel, all right, globally. Like, it's one domestically, it's doing numbers domestically, but globally people are not receiving it. And it's not making the money that Man of Steel made. You feel me? And I just want to talk about this because I'm kind of petty, and I love the old DCU, and I'm still excited for this new DCU. I love the old DCEU, and I'm excited for the DCU. But like, I knew that they were going to marvelize DC Comics, DC cinema. I knew they were going to marvelize. I knew they were going to turn into more of a Marvel formula type deal, and that's exactly kind of what we got from Superman. Not exactly kind of. That's exactly what we got from Superman. It's basically a marvelized Superman, in my opinion. In my opinion, your opinion is yours. But I knew we was getting marvelized, and I knew that would not work. And then these box office numbers kind of prove that to me. I know there's people saying this is after COVID and all this stuff, hearing that, but this movie might not even make the money that the Batman did after COVID. All right, this may not even make that money. Jurassic Park just did numbers. We're seeing other movies do billions, like other kid movies do billions, but we're seeing other movies do numbers. And I think saying that COVID and stuff is not, I don't think that's a real excuse for why this Superman isn't doing as well as people thought it would. And also people are saying that DC films, people have a bad taste in their mouth because of DC films. I'm not totally on board with that because, like I said, the Batman after COVID did money, and then if this is a whole new universe that you've been building, y'all been saying Peacemaker has been doing good. Y'all said the Suicide Squad by James Gunn was doing good. So all these things set up for this movie to do great. You had critics, creators, influencers all glazing this film to a huge magnitude. I've never seen somebody glaze films since Thor Ragnarok this hard. Like everybody and their mother was quick and wanted to say that this movie was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like that's what people wanted to say. And I think just the fact that it's not doing the numbers, I just think that says, like, bro, I think people are not wanting these popcorn superhero movies as much anymore. I think people want better superhero movies. And I think you giving us the formula that Marvel has already been doing for years that people are just now starting to get tired of hurts. Like, the Superman movie was very much a Marvel style movie, but with DC characters. Very much so. Like, easily. And then so I think that y'all trying to go with this style that people are getting sick of is just not it. Now, there's people saying that they're going to cut this whole universe. No, they're not. No, they're not. They've put all into this, to James Gunn and this universe. They've already started movies and slates and Green Lanterns, the Supergirl. They're saying that James Gunn is going to make a super family movie next. Like, so, yeah, like they are all behind this universe. But so even if Superman didn't make no money, it was going to continue. But like I said, I don't normally equate to how box office is or as good of a movie is, but I just don't think, I don't even know if it's not even about if I think Superman's good. I think y'all trying to go with a style that people are getting sick of is what hurts the film. All right, it definitely, I think it will hurt box office numbers. Now, the run isn't over. There's rumors that the digital will be out in August 25th. I don't know how true that is because that's literally just a rumor, but it's saying that it may not even beat Man of Steel, which came out 12 years ago. So I think that's crazy, and I also just want to laugh at all the people who were hating on the DCEU, who said it needed to be cut because this new universe was going to be financially so much better, who said the Suicide Squad and all that was put in, plus the Superman was pushing this to do crazy numbers, and it just didn't. And I just think that they need to not try to go with Marvel. DC was literally doing its own thing, and then the movie started to decline when they start to try to be like Marvel. Look at Aquaman 1, look at Aquaman 2, look at Wonder Woman 1, look at Wonder Woman 2. Let's look at Shazam 1, look at Shazam 2. We literally have examples like, okay, number one all did good. These did bad when you try to go with this new formula. Like, that's just how it is, bro. That's just how it is. And I feel like this, I feel not bad, but definitely don't feel bad, but I feel like, this is just bad for DC, especially if they're going to continue with this Marvel formula for it, which I just doesn't think fits DC. I don't even think it fits Marvel most of the time. So I think this formula just is not as good, and that could hurt box office numbers if you're giving a style that people are tired of. That's my 2 cents, and I'm also here to laugh at all the people that said that the old DCU wasn't profitable and they need to be cut just so we can get this new universe that isn't even making more money than Man of Steel. So, haters, I'm here laughing at you. Woo, okay, back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Now that I've had my little run about Superman box office numbers. Okay. Now let's talk about some comic book stuff. Let's talk about some black comic book stuff. Let's talk about Miles Morales comic book stuff. All right. So Miles Morales, we seen that because of Marvel solicitations and stuff like that, we seen Miles Morales is going to reach. This run of Miles is going to reach issue 42, and it possibly may reach 50, which is a huge milestone. Milestone. Cool. But this run right now that we're on for Miles has been written by Cody Ziglar. And I want to talk about Cody Ziglar and how he is on a master run of Miles right now. He is making the definitive Miles run. The definitive. And I actually think I said this in some of my Keeping Up with Miles videos when we started this run over at number 1 and maybe some other ones. This is like the definitive Miles run. All right. Cody, okay, this whole segment I'm just talking about how good Cody has been. Cody has done a great job of setting Miles up to be Miles Morales Spiderman, not the man who took over for Peter Parker. All right, he's setting him so far away from Peter Parker and to be his own character, and so dope, and I love it. He's gone into his personality, his lifestyle, his family, everything with Miles. He's taken us this whole journey and just growing up with Miles having a little sister, stuff like that, which wasn't all him, but he continued that. And he has given Miles a nice road gallery. He has Rabble, Bumbler. He had who else? Bumbler. I actually had a list of them. Where was it? Hightail, Zip, who's now in the God of War, the War of Gods storyline. He's giving them storylines like War of Gods, where he's now dealing with gods, where a Nazi, he's basically a Nazi's champion, which is the Spider God. Like, he's a Nazi's champion. That's so dope. Cody has really set Miles to be his own character. And I said this around, I think it was the Clone Saga for Miles. I said I really want them to let Miles be Miles, because at that time it seemed like Miles was just going through revamped Peter Parker storylines that were revamped for Miles. You get what I'm saying? So I really wanted them to give Miles his own roads. I wanted to give Miles his own storylines that had nothing to do with Peter Parker or his own storylines, and that's exactly what I got with Cody Ziglar. Cody Ziglar has given Miles his definitive run. He's giving Miles, making him a definitive character. Miles is Miles, all right? He set him apart from Spider-Man, all right? So I love what Cody has done, just going to personality, just the different arcs, man. Like, I feel like since he started, I have not felt like this is a spin-off of Peter Parker. I haven't felt like they're just using old Spider-Man stories to sell this book. Like, Cody Ziglar has literally let Miles be Miles, and that is great, bro. Like, he's done so great, and I hope he gets to issue 50. I hope he continues writing for Miles. He done had Miles working with Misty Knight in this run. He's had Miles working with Black Panther in this run. He had him going through the whole blood hunt, becoming a vampire. This run of Miles is definitive. I keep saying that, but it is. Like, Cody Ziglar has done such a phenomenal job with this character, and it is great, and it's phenomenal to see. It is amazing to see and to read, and he's continuing with it. And Miles continues to grow, get new suits, added powers, just added layers to who Miles is, and I love it. I think in like 5 years, we're gonna have such a great, awesome character to write. I think he's gonna be, in 5 years, I think Miles could be like up there with some of the top characters around that time. I think in 5 years, he may also be possibly on the same level as Peter Parker as a character. We'll see, especially with how his character's going. We will see. That may be a hot take, but we will see. But I really want to give a shout out to Cody Ziglar on his run for Miles. If you haven't, please go back to issue number 1, where it started off with Cody Ziglar, and go through this whole run. He's doing a job. He's doing a Bulls in the '90s run with no Michael Jordan hiatus, no 2-year baseball break. This man just going straight in the whole decade. You feel me? Like the Celtics in the '50s and the '60s, my dude. Like this man is putting on a run for the ages. All right. Shout out to Cody Ziglar. Please check out his Miles Morales run. And I hope whatever they do with Miles in the future, he is a writer or contributor to, like live action, whatever. Have him in on it. All right. Shout out to Cody Ziglar on his Miles Morales run. Okay, since we're on the topic of Spider-Man, let's go to another Spider-Man in a cinematic universe. All right. Let's talk about Tom Holland and Brand New Day. So if you know, next Spider-Man movie is going to be Brand New Day. And after last Spider-Man, everybody forgot who Peter Parker was and all this. So now he's kind of starting off with a clean slate, basically because they sucked with the first 3 Spider-Man movies. That's my opinion. The third one was cool, but the first 2 were just trash. He was just Iron Lad. All right, you feel me? So now Peter Parker gets a brand new start. There are reports that it's going to be a more street level Peter Parker. With the rumors of the Hulk being in it, I'm not really sure about that, and I'll talk about the Hulk in a second. But they are looking at he's going to be more street level Spider-Man in New York, kind of like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Punisher's also supposed to be in the film. It's supposed to be other street level people in the film, like Daredevil. I think we're probably going to see maybe Kingpin. I think what Kingpin was doing in the Daredevil show is going to have a lot to do with this movie, because we're seeing that a lot of the shows have something to do with the movie. So I think that the Daredevil show will have a lot to do with this new Spider-Man movie. But they're also saying that this movie is going to be like comics, it's going to be very grounded, like The Last Hunt and another Amazing Spider-Man story, which I never believe them lately when they say, okay, this is going to be like this comic, this is going to be like this comic, especially not Marvel. Because it hasn't been like that ever. Civil War ain't like Civil War in the comic books at all. Like every time they name a movie about the comics or say that this has something to do with comics, it never is that. Even with Superman, they was like Superman is basically all-star Superman. Besides very few parts, that movie is not all-star Superman. A lot of things they said that movie was based off of, I don't see in the movie at all. But so I kind of stopped believing those. But what I really want to talk about is the suit. All right, I added those things in because that's what talks about the Spider-Man and everything. But I want to talk about the suit. I like the suit. And the suit looked dope at the end of Spider-Man 3 when he was flying through the city. Like, it looked dope. My thing is, it just doesn't beat the other 2. And I'm not talking Tom Holland's, because the other 2 Spider-Man suit, it definitely beats those. This one beats his suits before now. But I think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, I think his last name is, I think both of their suits were better than this one. I think we still got to see what it looks like in action in the movie. But those other 2 suits were a lot better than this one. But Spider-Man New Day, I'm hoping for. Hulk is in this movie, and I think that anything they put Hulk in instantly makes the show or movie bad. Like She-Hulk, when he was in that, horrible. When he's literally been in anything after getting beat up by Thanos, it literally has not been good. Each time they have butchered Hulk's story more and more and more each time. So I'm really not excited about Hulk being in this. And I think the only thing they did good with Hulk was Brave New World with the Captain America movie, which they kind of turned the Captain America movie into a Hulk movie. Yeah, I still like the movie, but making a Hulk movie was weird with no Hulk. That's weird. And that was the best thing they did with the Hulk since the Incredible Hulk, to tell you the truth. But I'm not excited for the Hulk being in this, because I feel like every time they use the Hulk, he gets butchered more and more and more and more and more. And so we'll see what happens with that. I'm still excited to see Spider-Man as a more grounded hero. Hopefully he has nothing in this movie has anything to do with Tony Stark. But tell me what y'all think. Y'all like the suit? Y'all think this movie gonna be more grounded? Or y'all excited for the Hulk to be in it? I'm excited for the Punisher, because they shown pictures of the Punisher and it looks like comic book Punisher. So hype for that, but not hype for the Hulk, and it kind of dims my hype for the movie a little bit, but I'm still hyped. So tell me what y'all think about that, about the new Spider-Man set photos and news. Also, this is a video I had on my TikTok, but I also want to talk to y'all a little bit about this. So Rob Liefeld, who is the creator of Deadpool, I think he's wrote for DC and Marvel. He was saying that now DC has overtaken Marvel as the top dog in comics. All right, and now if you see, I'll show in this video the top selling comics of July. If you look at top selling comics of July, like the Ultimate Universe, the Absolute Universe is basically killing it with DC's Absolute Universe. There's only a few Marvel comics in this top 10 for real. And so basically, Rob Liefeld was saying that DC has become the top dog of comics, and I'm here to give you why I think so. I think DC has done a great job with integrating new readers. All right, so one thing DC has done is done these compact books where it's like a smaller book, kind of like manga size, and it's a little bit cheaper, where it's like their comic, it's like a whole arc in it. They did it with Hush, they did it, I think, with Joe Sojourner's Green Lantern run, and they've done it with a good couple other books. I believe they did it with All-Star Superman or Man of Tomorrow Superman. One of those books was in like this compact form that have really been selling like hotcakes. I think they're like $10, and then you get like this whole arc in this compact form, right? Real easy to read, real easy to hold, real cheap to get. And DC has been done a good job of getting people into their universe and buying their comics with that. And also DC, I think, is easier to jump on than Marvel right now. So like if I use X-Men as a point, you need to read like 5 different books to get into X-Men right now. And you need to read like 20 books prior to even know what's going on with the X-Men right now. Like the X-Men have so much evolved from what they used to be into like a way bigger form. So it's like even a lot of their comics, I really do feel like, even the ones I'm reading right now, I feel like you have to read a lot to jump into them. Whereas DC right now, they have a good few comics where you don't really need to read what comes before. And DC is they do a good job of giving you what happened before, so you can just read that book, right? Even with like Mr. Terrific right now. Mr. Terrific is they have a year 1 Mr. Terrific, which I'm so mad. I'm so mad at y'all that after the movie got so much popularity, everybody's going to buy his book, that I never even had his book in my pull list, because my comic book store just gets books all the time, and I normally just in there every Wednesday, and I missed a Wednesday, and then Mr. Terrific was sold out. You feel me? And I didn't even have it in my little pull box, because I haven't been added to my pull box. I'm just there every Wednesday, so I normally can get it there if it's not my pull box. But sold out Mr. Terrific. But sorry, I digress. But yeah, Mr. Terrific is in year 1 right now. And his story, he has a big part of what's going on in DC right now, but his story shows kind of his origin. And it shows where he is in DC right now too. So it kind of giving you both, so that after this comic is over, if they do a comic with him in the present, you probably can just jump onto that, which I'm hoping. And they're doing the all-in. The Absolute Universe is going great, to where they're kind of redoing some of their top dogs, like they're actually just the Justice League in general. Like they're redoing them and revamping their stories, so people can kind of just jump onto these stories. So I think that's where DC is doing better, where they're making stories where newer readers can just jump onto. You feel me? And then giving you old stories in these compact forms, so you can read them. And I think that's where DC is beating Marvel. Because if you look at this top comics of July, Fantastic Four is number 2, and that's a number 1. And the movie just came out. And number 1s typically do great. Collectors, all that. Number 1s typically do great. But yeah, DC is pretty much on the top of comics right now, and I kind of want to know what y'all think about it. I gave my reasons for why I think so. What do y'all think? What are y'all reasons for why DC's on top? Let's talk about it in the comments. All right, y'all, got my little notebook because I want to continue this conversation about comics, and I need this note so I don't forget these things. So I'm going to give y'all 10 comics, no particular order, that I think would make either good animated shows, movies, or TV shows, or animated movies / shows, or live action TV / shows. All right, I'm going to give y'all 10 comics. 10 comics, no order at all, that I think will be fire. All right. So, Oblivion Song. If you're a fan, he's the writer of Invincible and The Walking Dead. He wrote Oblivion Song, and this man doesn't write a short series. This man, all his comics be at least 28 issues, at least. So Oblivion Song is basically like it's this world where this portal basically opens up, and it not portal, or like this bridge gets taken down, this barrier gets taken down, and it integrates our world with like this other dimension of like monsters and stuff like that. And then we finally close this rift, but like people have gotten lost in there, and they're trying to retrieve people from this other dimension and stuff like that, right? It's a really dope story called Oblivion Song, and I'm telling you, we've already seen his stories like The Walking Dead and Invincible into animations and live action. I think this one could easily be a live action. It could easily be a live action, but I think an animated would do it more fit with kind of the creatures that come from this different universe, different dimensions and stuff like that. It could definitely be good animated. It could be fire, and then y'all need to check this out. This story is a long story, but it's great. Oblivion Song is one. Number 2, Outer Darkness. Outer Darkness is a story I would tell anybody about. If you're into like horror and sci-fi and just like space and just adventure, this is the story for you. It's basically about this team. It has this captain who basically is like John Michael White mixed with Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, like he's like them two mixed together. And like he has this ship, and they go around the galaxy basically stopping these like horror, like this like horror in the galaxy. Like there's haunted planets, haunted houses out in space that they deal with, right? And then he really is looking for like his wife, I believe. And then he has a whole crew. Everybody has different backstories and characteristics. It's a very funny story, bro. If you're in, it's like space horror. It's literally space horror. It's a comedy space horror. All right, it's a comedy. It's a horror comedy that's set in space. There you go. And it's a great read. Outer Darkness from Image Comics is, I think it probably is in my top 10 because I would tell anybody about it. It's great. Next, Radiant Black. Radiant Black, man. If you like Power Rangers, this is basically Power Rangers. Power Rangers on a space level, like an epic level. All right, it's basically like this guy basically finds like this black hole type of thing that has so much power, that gives him power. But from where it comes from, the man who created it is trying to get it back, and he's doing whatever he can to get it back. All right. If you love Power Rangers, Radiant Black is the comic for you. Easily. It's Power Ranger feel all day, and this would be a great animated show. Animated show / movie. Live action I think would be cool, but animated, kill it. Animated, kill it. Number 4, Nocturia. Nocturia from, I believe, Scott Snyder. I'm checking right now. Nocturia is basically like the world gets engulfed by darkness, and in this darkness there's like these creatures, and the darkness kind of turns you into one of these creatures that's basically killing off everybody. You feel me? And like they're trying to end this total darkness, right? And then it kind of feels like what's the movie A Quiet Place? What's the joint where the monsters come out and they can hear you and everybody has to be quiet? It's the horror movie. It has my man's from The Office in it. I could be messing it up, but A Quiet Place is kind of like Quiet Place. Oh yes, and this story is written by Scott Snyder. It's kind of like A Quiet Place, where these creatures are like that. It's not that they can't hear, not that they can't see, but the creatures kind of remind me of that. So take A Quiet Place, but totally at night. All right, it's kind of like that. It's a great story, and I think it would be better for live action, especially after seeing A Quiet Place. Live action would be great. Next up for number 5, Bitterroot. Bitterroot, we've talked about this. It's actually a comic out now. It's basically where like these people like monster hunters. The first issue takes place in where does it take place? Is it the Harlem Renaissance? The first one take place? Is that where the second one is taking place? Well, the first one takes place in the South, I believe. I'm messing things up, but a Bitterroot, I think I'm mixing up the story now and the other story, but Bitterroot is basically where like evil, like these monsters manifest themselves in evil, and they take over people like that are like racist and stuff like that. And then like there's this family who stops these monsters, like monster hunters, and it's a real dope. I think live action would be it, but animation probably be better. I think animation for any comic is better. Like Bitterroot is a fire story that, man, they're in talks of doing live action, I believe, and I think Regina King is supposed to be doing it, and I hope they do. Next up at number 6 is Philadelphia. Philadelphia by Rodney Barnes, who might be my cousin. Rodney Barnes is an incredible writer. He wrote for like Winning Time, the show about the Lakers. He's written for like a bunch of stuff, Boondocks. You feel me? So like Philadelphia is basically where like vampires take over Philadelphia, and it has a lot to do with history. Like this one, I want live action. This one, I need live action. I need that horror feel of it. I need live action for Philadelphia. Like that joint is fire, and that is one of easy in my top 10. One, I think one of the best comics in the last like decade. Like Philadelphia is excellent book. All right. Next up, I have Tokyo Ghost. Tokyo Ghost is basically like this future where everybody's connected to like electronics, basically how we are now, but worse. And like there's everybody's just connected to electronics, and like there's this villain, and I believe that they're trying to get everybody off the electronics. There's like this place, like this sanctuary where nobody's on electronics and stuff like that. I actually got to go back and read the books, and I could probably give you a better description. But it was a great book, great artwork, and I think it has definitely a lot to do with today's world. So I think a live action version of that would be great, but I think an animation also would be good. Number 8, Ninjak or Ninja K from Valiant Comics. Ninjak is a British ninja spy. There you go. He's a James Bond spy, a James Bond ninja. All right. And this series is great. It's action packed, bro. Like, it's for Valiant Comics, and I'm mad that they didn't make this their first movie. They made Bloodshot their first movie, which I think if they did Ninja K, it would probably made a lot more money and been going crazy. Like, an animated series for this character would do wonders, but live action, I'm telling you, would do wonders for their universe. Number nine. Robert Kirkman again. Firepower. Just so I can make sure that he wrote this. Firepower. If you're into things like the Shaolin Temple, if you're into the old kung fu flicks, like this, I think the Shaw Brother flicks, like this is for you. Like, this is definitely for you. Hold on, making sure that my man's wrote this comic. Yeah, Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman also wrote Firepower, which is not a short series, but it has to do with dragons, kung fu, fire, bro, serpents, ancient evils. Like, this Firepower is dope. Like, I would love a live action of Firepower easily. Of course, animation, like I'm saying, all of them would be good, but man, if you're into those old kung fu flicks, this is that. This is that. If you liked Wu-Tang, this is that. No, I'm telling you, people, lovers of Wu-Tang and Kung Fu flicks, like, this is for that. There's literally a character in this old Asian character, old man, who is like a sensei who wears nothing but Jordans. Like it's for the hip hop Kung Fu crowd. All right. Next one is Moon Man. Moon Man is a comic by Kid Cudi, basically where like these astronauts go off in space, kind of like Fantastic Four, and they come back with powers. All right, and Kid Cudi has been doing his side quest missions for music for a while, and all his side quests have been fire. So he actually has on Netflix, he has a show called Intergalactic, I believe, and it's like a romance story, which is really dope. And I think that this could be another that's an animated movie, and this could be animated like that. And I think this would be dope. Definitely check out Kid Cudi. He's a classic musician, probably in my generation's Hall of Fame of musicians, rappers and musicians. So of artists in general. But Kid Cudi, he's been putting out, like I said, these side quests with animations and stuff like that. And this comic is also dope. And the Power Rangers writer actually is also a writer on this book. So definitely check out Moon Man too. That is one that I think would be dope animated show or live action. But those are 10 that I think will be fire. Check all 10 of them out. I'll put them in the description too. But check all of them out. Whew. Okay, this has been another dope episode. Episode 10. I don't know if I said it at the start. We are at episode 10, bro. I'm at episode 10 of this podcast. Let's get it. Let's keep it going, bro. But to end off this episode, I started off with one of the duties. I think I did them in like the first one, and I got away from it. But I would like to do recommendations, like comic book recommendations. All right, not of comics I think you should read. I want to give one from DC, one from Marvel, one from outside of that, and one manga. All right, I may not always do manga because I'm still on my manga tour, but I'll do manga for right now. do one manga for today. So for today, the DC comic I want to recommend to y'all is Static Season 2. Static Season 2, one of the newest Static comic to come out, and this one is called Shadows of Dakota. This one has Ebon in it from the animated series, and this one is based, if you take the animated series and the comic and put them together, Static Season 2 is that. Is literally that, and that's why I love it. If you take the comic and the animated, put them together, you get Static Season 2. So definitely check this out. Earth M they have a lot of dope books with Hardware, Icon, and Rocket, like Blood Syndicate, Shadow Cabinet. They have a whole bunch of dope books, but Static number 2, this one has reached into probably top 5 comics of all time. Probably. Because I mean, Static's one of my favorite heroes. If not, he is my favorite hero. And then so Static, and then this comic is a dope Static, and it adds elements from the animated series, Static Shock. 2, the next one from Marvel. From Marvel, I am saying Ultimate Wolverine. It's a new comic right now. You can start from number 1. Issue number 8 just came out. It's basically, it takes you kind of like into the bag of Wolverine. Like it takes you back into like the days where him being Weapon X. Like it kind of like starts off like that. Instead of Weapon X, he's the Winter Soldier in this universe. So it takes you, it's like takes you back to what you remember and love from Wolverine before like X-Men did all this stuff. All right, so definitely check out Ultimate Wolverine. It's only 8 issues so far, so definitely easy to get into. Outside of the big 2, I want to recommend Locke Key. Now, Locke Key is a series on Netflix, and I was just doing my recommendation of things that would be good in live action animation. Netflix series for Locke Key is phenomenal. It is great, but the comic is way better and darker. Like the series is kind of makes it more for like maybe a kid could watch it if they wanted to. Like they kind of make it more family friendly, whereas the comic is super dark. Some of the things that happen in the show, when you see what really happens in the comic, you're like, whoa, that was crazy. But like the comic, I think is I think both are good, but the comic is just better because it goes deeper and darker for me. Right, so Locke Key is my outside of the big 2, and the manga I want y'all to read is Blade of the Immortal. Blade of the Immortal, I've been actually reading it for research purposes because I've been writing a story about an immortal swordsman. So I've been kind of use that for research purposes, like, you know, inspiration and stuff like that. But it's basically about this immortal who basically gets hired by this girl to teach her how to kill, so she can get vengeance for her father, I believe. But he's teaching her how to fight, and he's immortal. So it's a very dope story, and I love it. It's one of my favorites so far of manga, but yeah, it's definitely a story that it's definitely a manga that I think I want to recommend to people to check out and everything. So those are my comic and manga recommendations. I want to thank y'all for watching another episode of Yo a Nerd, episode 10. Hopefully episode 11 is way better. But that'll be coming out whenever after this video. But I want to thank y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and stay up with me. I put all my where you can follow me in the description, so please follow me. Peace, y'all.